say too many people.
We can do
Everyone wants it.
So anybody wants one date on that? December the 19th.
Oh, we do.
Well, no, it's not.
Today's December 19th.
Okay, never mind, I'm just having a senior's
We
one.
are live, everyone.
We live? Okay, we're live, everybody. Good evening and welcome to the December meeting of the Oxford Town Council, or I call the meeting to order. I do have a couple of announcements to make. First off, the town has an open position on the town crew, public works operator labor position. It's temporary with the potential to turn into a full-time position. You look on the Town of Oxford website, Indeed, it's listed, or you can actually contact Linda direct at the town hall. Here, she'll give you all the particulars. Our first town meeting, committee of the whole meeting in January, will be held January the 9th. In the week following, on January the 17th, we're going to hold our regular council meeting on a Tuesday night, that one, because there's previous commitments for other people and they all can't be here. So that is all the announcements, I think. Am I missing anything, Linda?
I think you're good.
Okay, she says I'm good, we're good. I'll call this meeting to order. You've all got a copy of the agenda in front of you. Anybody like to make a motion to approve it?
So moved.
So moved, seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. First on it, number 3.1, Town Council minutes from November 21st, 2022. Any errors or omissions in those minutes? What, do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Moved, seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. New business. First up is the 2022-23 boards and committees. We've got some new members that have stepped forward. I'll tell you who they are in 1 second here. Kirsten Helt is now on our accessibility committee, and Josephine McDonald has joined the audit committee. We still have an opening on the All Saints Community Hospital Care Foundation that meets every 2 months. And we have another open position on the audit committee. We'd prefer somebody with some financial experience to go on that committee. But could we have a motion to approve those new members, please?
So moved.
Do we have a seconder?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Okay, 4.2 on the new business, special election wrap-up. Linda, I'll turn the floor over to you.
Okay, thank you, Alicia. So December 13th was nomination day. It's at 5 p.m. And when the deadline approached, in the end, no candidates actually filed to run. So we are formally announcing here tonight that there's still a vacancy on council. With that being said, so what will happen is in 4 weeks' time, it's up to council to set a new date for an upcoming election.
And we can't do that today?
No, because due to deadlines for advertising and properly within the certain timelines with the MEA, we should allow that time.
Question. So did the last non-election actually cost us any money?
Yes, there is advertising, there's some returning officer fees, there is, basically that is pretty much it, but those 3 costs there.
And we're mandated from the province to have this election before the
Next
term is up.
That's correct.
Yes, we tried to go to the province and say, look, we've got, no, you've got to fill the position.
They say as long as it's within this, if
6
it's within
months.
the 6 months before your regular election, then you wouldn't need to fill that, but
Okay,
we have longer than that to do.
thank you.
You're welcome, thank you.
Okay, That's everything on the wrap up. Now, Linda's gonna have a little discussion on what you need to do to run as a candidate, just for the public out there to have some awareness on it. Linda?
Thank you, Your Worship. So we had some questions on candidates, and I just want to go over tonight, because now's a good time to start thinking about it, because we're looking at, if we make the announcement in 4 weeks' time at a regular council meeting on the 17th, we're looking at 11 weeks out for the special election. So this is a good time to start thinking if you would like to run as a candidate. So to run as a candidate, you should meet with the returning officer. Meet with them right away, go over the package, what's theirs to do. Tonight, there's gonna be discussion on the nomination fee. We're gonna talk about that here in a little bit, but there is a requirement to make a nomination fee. Taxes and liens owed to the town must be paid in full. We must reside in Oxford for at least 6 months in order to run as a candidate. And also you need to collect at least 5 electors' signatures that say that they will vote for you in the upcoming election. You must file your papers by the end of day on nomination day, which is at 5 p.m. They have to be completely filed, not started, completely filed by 5 p.m. Then what happens at 5 p.m., we make the announcement. If there's an election, who is running in the election. But there's still time. If you decide, you may change your mind. You might want to pull your name back out. You can do that the very next day till 4 p.m. If you don't take it out then you are part of the election. But that's just to clear up some questions that we did get from a few interested candidates at the time. So that just to clear up the air, in case some people are wondering and didn't ask, just to clear up in the air.
But the deposit is totally refundable.
Yes, it is. The deposit is totally, not totally, actually. You have to get a certain amount of votes with a percentage.
Okay.
So you have to try, for the election, right? That's what the purpose of the.
Right, but I mean, what is that percentage?
I don't know it right off, but we can get that, so.
That-
I think
that
at
would
least
be good for
50%.
Candidates that are
Yeah.
taking out papers to know that.
Yes, yeah. You want at least
Also,
50%, I would say.
I will throw out we cannot release the names of people who have taken out papers until 5 o'clock the day that the nominations close.
I don't
So,
even think you're allowed to do that. You can only release the names of the people that have
5.
filed.
that's right.
Right.
After they filed, we can release the
That's right,
names.
yes.
Until that time that they're filed, 5 o'clock the day the closing date, we can release the
Right.
names. Now, if a candidate wants to release their name and say, I'm running for council earlier,
That's up to them.
that's up to them.
Now, one question that I
Yes.
have also is, you talk about taking the papers out by a certain date, but how much time do they have from that date to the filing date?
You can take it out the day of nomination day, the papers, as long as you get
Right.
everything in by that date.
Right,
I would say you need to allot at least 45 minutes to get it all together.
yeah, but you also have to have those signatures of those
You have
5
to have
electors.
all the signatures, you have to have the tax certificates showing proof that your taxes are paid in full, and also the check or cash with the
But
nomination.
that time frame is usually what, a month? So if you say if I were to take papers out the first day that they became available,
Oh, I see what you're saying.
you mentioned that to make sure they allow themselves enough time to have the application totally finished.
Mhm.
Well, then, how much time do they have
We
actually?
had a couple people waiting the 10 minutes before closing.
You can't do
You
that.
can't do
You can't do
that.
that.
No.
You can do it in a day, no problem.
You can
Yes,
do
you
it in
could.
that same
Yeah,
day.
yeah.
You can do it if you start in the morning or in the
Yeah,
afternoon.
you could.
Yes, you could
Okay.
reasonably do
But you
that.
can't phone up at 5 to 5,
No,
so I'm thinking
exactly.
about running for council.
So the question that I had asked me a couple of times, so now we know how they can do it, what is being a counselor? What commitment?
Well, I think that's a good time for them to interview you guys.
Yeah,
Go meet your
Right.
counselor,
Yeah.
ask them the questions, what's it like, what are the meetings like, what kind of decisions do they expect to be voting on, what are the.
One of the questions I
upcoming-
had was like the time constraint, because everyone's busy, right? So,
right.
what I said was our 2 council meetings a month.
Yeah.
And then what would we tell people, like 3 committees, 4 committees?
Yes.
3 or 4, that's what I
3 or 4.
figured.
Something like that.
And I said that we are very good at making sure that this one's, you're not on one every week or something like that.
Right.
Like if this one meets 4 times a year, this one meets once a month and whatever. So That's kind of what I had said to people.
It demands on the mandate of the various committees, because some of them are internal, like our Public Works Committee, we have to meet a little more regular right now. Our Audit Committee's gonna be meeting a lot here in the next little while. But then it slows down for like 3 or 4 months, right? So it depends on the committees for sure, and your interest, yeah. And also, we have the Zoom option, so maybe you can't attend all the time here in Oxford. Yeah, but you're, in Halifax on business or something, that you can still Zoom in.
Right.
So,
Even if you're in Cuba.
yeah.
I zoomed in with them.
So, some capabilities, we have more flexibility than we used to have.
Right.
So, yes.
Okay, so we'll move on, and deposits for nominations. Linda and I discussed this. So, Linda, I'll turn the floor over.
Certainly. So I'm talking at the time, just a few people have mentioned about, I want to bring it forward to council, and it's totally up to council if they want to, but we put a draft together of a bylaw in case council wants to consider this. That $200 may be a lot for some people. And you want, the reason we say that, we want to be inclusive to everyone in the town. So we were thinking, well, maybe change the limit. We have the option to change the limit to whatever we would like. We can make it even 0. We don't even have to put anything on it. So we tossed the idea of around maybe $50, as an idea. But it's totally up to council if they want to. It says in the act that we must do about $200, but the council may set it to whatever they would like it to be, with a maximum of $200.
I think $50 is a great idea.
No.
But I don't think that 0 is a great idea.
No,
Right, I
you
think
want somebody
you need
serious.
Right,
at
you
least.
have to
Yeah.
have a commitment,
Yeah.
and I think that $50 is, but I can tell you, as a new counselor, I was quite surprised, like, when I started the process, I'm like, oh, $200, like,
Yeah.
if you were coming that day 10 minutes before, thinking you were gonna get it, that $200 would broadside you.
Yeah. Yeah. And also, like Councillor Jones mentioned, you get that back, usually
Right.
I've never seen a time that they didn't get that back.
Right.
No.
So that usually comes back to you.
Yeah, I think $50 is a great idea.
Would someone like to make that a motion?
I will move that we change the
But
bylaw
to
to
create,
$50.
we're creating a bylaw. So this would be to create the bylaw. It's the elections deposits bylaw. May I read it first?
Yes.
Yeah.
Please.
Go ahead.
So we're looking to, in this bylaw, every nomination paper filed by or on behalf of a candidate in any election held under the Municipal Election Act for the town of Oxford shall be accompanied by a deposit of $50. Now, that being said, and I know we're looking at a special election, we're trying to get this in and ready before the next election. We can't guarantee it, but it will be ready for the regular election.
Right.
So this is a good step either way to go forward, but we're gonna try to have it ready within this,
So I move that we create that bylaw.
Seconded, Councillor Jones. All those in favor of the new bylaw, raise your hand, say aye. Aye, motion carried. Thank you. Next up, municipal boundary discussion. I'm gonna turn the floor over to Deputy Mayor McDonald, because Linda went on a course, and I'm supposed to hand the floor over if I want to discuss something.
the chair.
The chair, yeah,
Robert's
chair.
rules.
Yeah, Robert's rules. Anyway, Linda and I were discussing, we've committed, we put a motion forward last month, the month before, to the boundary review, stating that we'd like to stay with 6 councillors. Now, they have to submit their decision by the end of the month, December. I thought I would throw it open, we didn't get anybody nominated, I would throw open the idea of perhaps sending them a letter and saying, we run into a snag, we would like to go with 4 councillors. I think we should have a discussion, because we're not getting candidates. And I hate to see us running elections after, elections are expensive. Even if nobody puts their name in, we've got advertising, we've got other expenses. If we do this and they agree, then we would only need 4 councillors for the next election. And if we find out that's not enough, or the town council at the time finds that's not enough, then in 8 years' time, they can try to go back to 6 councillors. But I thought, since we've had trouble filling the slate over the years, that we should revisit it. And it's, oh, I'm not the chair, sorry.
I think we stick with 6. I still vote 6. I think there was a lot of discussion. I think people maybe waited too long to bite the bullet. And I had 2 people approach me since then saying, you know, they should have done it and then they didn't, and how quick can we do another one? So I think they're out there. I think it's just having it, maybe, I don't know if it was the time of year or what, but I think that, I think we'll be fine the next time.
And a few people mentioned the time of year, and the reason we had to have it, we have to follow the Municipal Elections Act. It tells us 4 weeks,
Right.
11 weeks, it tells us exactly, it's like a puzzle, it tells us exactly how to run it, so that's why it seemed done this year. And that's why we also looked at the $200 fee, it seemed like that too.
Anyway, it was just an idea, I thought we should go back and discuss it, so.
So you want, through the discussion, is to leave it the same, what we've already decided.
That's my vote.
Agreed.
I agree.
I agree with a comment that we need to review the council honorariums, bring us up to a Nova Scotia standard of some kind. And I'm not, we can do it for the next term, because I don't want to make it look like I'm doing it for me, because I'm not. But I think if you want to attract somebody to put the time in that you have to make the council work properly, I think we have to look at raising the honorariums.
Definitely, but
I
that's,
can tell you when people approach me,
yeah,
I said, you don't do it for the money.
no, you don't,
Right? Yeah, we're not making any money, it's, you know,
No.
just above a volunteer position. So I think that if it actually would be a little more than a volunteer position, maybe we would
Yeah.
get a better,
you know.
you know, the
Yeah.
next actual election.
I just wanted to throw it out
Yeah,
there
no,
for
no,
discussion.
and I think it's a good idea to do that in light of what happened with the no-show on the election, but I think it's more important to look at the other underlying factors than just the number of the council.
Right,
Because we were hearing names were coming forward, like people of interest, but they just didn't come forward.
Because really, I mean, if you want to really put the time in, it's a part-time job.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
And
absolutely.
I think
Well,
everybody
yes.
around the council chambers here has taken it on that
Yeah.
way. So it'll be interesting how many of us really want to do it the next term.
So anyway,
And that's not saying we will get voted in either, who knows?
Right.
But I mean, obviously, if there's 6 seats and only 6 people put in, then everybody's in, and that's not right either.
It's good to have an election.
so at this time, we're gonna ask you, are there any further discussion on this? If not, I'd like to turn the chair back over to Mayor Henry.
Thank you, thank you. Okay, next up, K-9 control bylaw, first reading, Linda.
Yes. So thank you, Your Worship. I'll bring you guys up with a little history. So this was recommended to us by our animal bylaw officer. We contracted with the county. We've had a few dog bites around here in town, especially lately. And with the old bylaw, our dog bylaw, it doesn't give us as much up-to-date tools for our current bylaw officer to utilize, like muzzling, ordering a muzzle on a dog and things like this. The language is older, so I'm putting forward this recommended canine control bylaw. We're looking to repeal the current dog bylaw and replace it with this canine control bylaw to give us a more of an up-to-date, things that we can do, tools to help our animal control bylaw officer to make our streets safer by making sure that all the pets are under control of their owners. So this is why this has come forward, and this is, it's molded out of the county and a little bit of town of Amherst, I believe, as well, so with their language as well, but recommended by our control officer.
So are you looking for a motion to repeal the other one and adapt this one?
Correct, I'm looking for first reading.
I'll make that motion.
Perfect.
Okay, do we have a seconder? Second by Councilor Colburn. All those in favor, raise your hand, say aye. Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Okay, so that's the first reading, we'll have to do that another meeting.
There'll be another meeting once I get through the advertising.
Okay. 4.7, budget freeze. Normally this time of year, council gives direction to town staff to be very careful with any spending, just so we don't run out of funds before the end of our fiscal year. And I think we should give direction to, again, this year, to give direction to staff to follow these guidelines as a budget freeze. Do we need a motion on
We
that?
need someone to make a motion on that.
Are you gonna set a date when you're starting your budget freeze? Is it the 1st of January, or is it consistent of the
I would
date?
say as of today.
So that's the 19th of December.
Yes,
But I guess too, we have to like specify, it's a budget freeze, it's not a stop spending.
right,
It's just follow the budget, which
yes. So if you're,
technically should be all year
Or
anymore.
in
If I
any
could make a comment, I
unnecessary.
think we've been on a budget freeze for the last 3 years
Right.
since we got in here.
Right.
well, we have been, but I think it's near the end of the year, we're always counting pennies. So I think it's more to reiterate and reinforce the idea, do we need to buy it? Now, I know there's some departments haven't used up their budget because their budget goes
Right,
throughout the year. This is just discretionary spending.
Yep,
I guess.
absolutely. A
So
budget
if it's
freeze,
not
not a spending
necessary,
freeze.
yes,
Yeah.
if it's not necessary, don't spend it even
Yeah.
though it's in your budget.
Yeah, yeah.
It may not be necessary,
Yeah.
Right.
so, because we might need to use that around.
Yeah.
So, because January to March is our tightest time of year.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's all to do with the weather, right?
Yeah.
Like the salt is,
So-
that's the hardest
And
part.
also, our taxes are all in now, and other than the tax sale process, which will start in January, but
I'd like to make a motion for a budget freeze starting as of the 19th of December 2022.
Seconder?
I'll second it.
Oh, yeah, seconder. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Contrary to mine, no. Those opposed, say no. Excellent, motion carried. Next up, audit committee recommendation. Go to Linda first.
Thank you, your worship. Okay, so the audit committee had a meeting, usually, we'll explain our financial statements. So our financial statements actually have been ready since June. We've had them ready. Our auditors were great, and along with our senior accountant, they worked great together, got them together, but we recently sold a landfill site, and it involves two other municipalities. So we had to wait for the books to come back on those, and those had just come back, but there's another variable in there, which could really change the numbers that we report to an amount that is worth putting in the correct amount, because then we would look at reinstating our financial reports plus anything like our FER, all the obligations we are with the province and everything like that. So the audit committee met, and so it's back here. So they, the auditors met with the audit committee and recommended that we wait till January of 2023 to run with the draft financial statements that's already been presented to the audit committee. And if we do not get the outstanding numbers that we're looking for, any outstanding items, I should say, for our financial statements.
Okay, I'm a little confused. I'm gonna ask a question here. Basically, we're waiting to get the final numbers from the closure of the landfill sale before we submit our budget to the province, because we don't wanna have to go back and change it.
That's right, because if we go back and change it, there's another fee for auditors' fees, as well as it's a lot more staff time as well. Then we have to go back and change our provincial.
It's cheaper to wait.
It is,
Okay.
just for one more month at least.
Did we not set
So-
a date on that?
We did,
So
as a
that's what I'm
recommendation.
going to
Okay.
say here. So the audit committee recommends to council to direct Baker Tilly, Nova Scotia, to proceed with the draft financial statements by January 13th, 2023, if confirmation from outstanding items is not available before then. So we're gonna hold off until January 13th, hoping they'll have them. If not, then they're gonna create them without those numbers, and unfortunately, they'll have to do them a second time when we do get the numbers.
Right.
But just to update everyone here, there's already just been a meeting organized with, like on January 6th for
Excellent.
those outstanding items, as well as there's something else coming into play. So hopefully
by January
we'll
13th.
have the correct number to be in place.
So is that a motion?
So that's a motion, the audit committee recommends.
Seconder?
I'll second it.
Okay, all those in favor of the motion as presented?
Aye.
Motion carried. Thank you, everybody. Okay, I just was 5.1 correspondent, Oxford Thrift Store. Linda, you've discussed this a bit, and you and I have discussed it, but I'll turn the floor over to you.
Okay. Thank you, Your Worship. So we received this letter from the manager of the Social Enterprise in Oxford, Sunset Community. They are looking to apply for an accessibility grant, and they need, in order for this application, they need support from town council. It's not asking for a financial contribution, not at this moment anyways, but they're looking for our support to make their entrance more accessible. They may be looking at the sidewalk, they're looking at the door, like a push button so the door's open, things like that for their clients and customers. And that actually lines up with our accessibility
Yes, it does.
plan as well. We did reach out to the accessibility committee for ideas, and they came forward with some grants, but there's a grant that just came out by the province that they're looking to apply for. So they need our support.
So they're looking at making a ramp?
I think they're looking to build up the sidewalk. They're right where they are on the corner, and also possibly a door button opener.
Electronic door,
Yes, they
Yes.
do.
Yeah.
wheelchair in.
Mhm.
Oh,
I think it's a great idea.
Yeah.
I think as long as we're not up for any.
we're not committing to any funds right
Right.
now, so basically it's in principle.
Yeah.
No,
Do we have a motion then?
I move that we, as
We'll
long
give
as.
a letter of support if so requested.
And I'll second that.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Thank you, everybody. That's pretty well everything on our list for tonight. Want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Holidays, whatever, stay safe, look after your family, and we'll be back in the new year. Counselor Jones?
Motion for adjournment.
Good night, all.